We're not here to make up the numbers. We're here to compete as well. This squad, with the power they have on their day, they can do anything they want.
Hello and welcome to the Glassgirls Network.
Proud sponsors of Neve Deasy and Mill Rogers.
End of season review, Kieran. We're here, bank holiday.
We are. We're enjoying the sunshine.
We are last game of the Premier League season as well, so all the fans, Josh is inside as well, the players are inside, a couple of the coaches are inside as well, so there and there, it's half time, so we just thought we'd come out and kind of give our thoughts on what we thought of this season for Stourbridge FC women's team. So Kieran, just overall, before we get into the players and this, that and the other, what were your thoughts for the season as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a massive success, hasn't it? Like, coming into this season, looking back at the first podcast that we did, before the season even kicked off, I think we all said we wanted to finish well. We wanted to, make sure we weren't a pushover in this league. And I think we've made sure that wasn't the case. Obviously, won the league, 2 finals. It's been fantastic in every single sense of the word. I'm really looking forward to next season as to how that's going to unfold now. Yeah,
I had no idea we were going to get to this level. I thought top 6. I heard the coaches kind of pushing for top 4 at the start of the season, but to say that we actually almost dominated the league, didn't we? We
definitely
bullied the league to a point. We made them have some of our rivals having to win every game. And I think that's a credit to obviously us, and kind of showed our opposition that, hey, if you want to get out of this league, you need to win a big chunk of your games, and the ones that you don't win, you need to draw. And I think obviously we've set that benchmark now, and hopefully next season, whoever's in that league, whether it be Donny Bells, that they might go to a different league. But you've got Peterborough who've done really well, and Carlson, Moors, Northampton, they've all impressed this season. Sutton Coldfield coming up, they need to go into next season thinking we can win this league, but we just need to win about 80% of those games, don't they?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, the teams have shown themselves in this league that it's not an easy league at all. We've come against some really, really good opposition in this league. It's sort of a shame to leave it really so soon, because I've enjoyed it, to be honest. Going to you're slightly further away from your kiddies and sort of Reddiches that we've had last season, and going on these big away days to some really nice places, to be fair.
Any teams you want to shout out? Not just for me, I think the Peterborough team.
Peterborough, I think Peterborough, obviously massive shout out to them. I think they do a lot of things right at that football club, both on the pitch and off the pitch. So fair play to them, massive credit. And I feel like Peterborough, obviously we've been there, it feels about a million times. But it's been a great time well, I don't know. Most of the times we've been there. The FA Cup one, probably less so. But I've enjoyed my trips to Peterborough.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic season, and I had no idea we was going to do this 12 months ago. I just wanted to be a part of the National League, to be honest, and I had no idea we was going to start getting the results that we have got, and and the cup finals as well was 2 of the biggest days of my Stourbridge career. Even though we lost against Leeds and lost against Wolves, those 2 games were some of the best appearances of my life, being involved in that. So definitely. Massive shout out to those, even though there were losses. We want to talk about a few of the players today, so let's start off with the defenders and the goalkeepers. So we'll just talk about a few of the players and just look at kind of our thoughts on how well they've done. So Amy Preston got the Golden Glove, well deserved. We said going into the season, she'll be tested more this season, and she was. She's pulled out some great saves, even on the final game this season against Leaffield, pulled out some worldies.
Definitely.
Golden Glove, Amy Preston, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, I think we all thought Amy was going to get slightly more tested. Obviously, she has, like you say, but she's shown that she's more than capable of this league, and obviously done that by winning the Golden Boot for it as well. She's a great person, great goalkeeper, I think she really embodies what Stourbridge is about. She gets it. She's very much a person at the club, I think Amy has got. If we do get to see her next season, I think I'm really excited to see. Perhaps her being tested even more. Whether she can match that, is yet to be seen. But she's done really, really well this season. No faults to her. Fair play, Amy. Well done.
Yeah, she's done a cracking job, and to have that many clean sheets as well in such a big league, a powerful league. And I was speaking to some Birmingham journalists earlier to say how well Tier 3 Tier 4 is actually, the competitiveness now of Tier 4 this season compared to 1, 2, 3 seasons ago. There's so many good teams there. So for Amy to keep as many clean sheets as she has is phenomenal, and obviously that goes on to like the defence in front of her as well. So plenty of defenders in our squad. Let's go through a few of them.
Yep.
So let's start off with a new signing, Zoe Clark. I never expected
Wow.
Zoe to be.
Wow.
You said it. First of all, I didn't even know Zoe was going to be playing fullback at the start of the season. Same with Sophie Levick. I wasn't expecting that. Zoe Clark, I don't mind admitting right now, she's the player that I voted for player of the season.
Yeah.
I think she's been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think fullbacks, it's very, very much the case of very underrated. They don't get spoken about enough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't score the goals. They don't save the penalties. But what she does do is she stops the attack. She stops the crosses. Stops the blocks, and then she goes one step further. She actually drives the ball forward.
Yes.
And she never loses the ball. She's strong. Even when she's injured, she gets back up again. If she doesn't, 1 or 2 weeks later, she's back again where other people have like a month out, 2 months out.
Mm-hmm.
She's acting in the club right now as well, just like with Meg, and just hopefully just winding down a little bit after such a great season. So for me, Zoe's been phenomenal. Your thoughts on Zoe, because she's kind of like a sign that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
Didn't know much about, did we?
Yeah, I can't remember when I don't think she had much of a pre-season with us, from what I remember.
One of the last ones to sign,
Yeah. But yeah, what a signing she was. She's absolutely incredible as a footballer. She's everything that you'd want in a fullback. Defensively, absolutely sound. But attacking wise as well, when she drives forward from midfield, she sort of cuts inside.
Yeah.
It is like the ball is glued to her feet. You can't get it off her.
Yeah.
And I think without her as well, obviously she's had 1 or 2 injury problems this year. Obviously Sheffield down here was the most notable one. And when she's had that time out, we look a completely different side, and not half as good, I wouldn't say, when we have her in the team, because she just brings that extra quality. So yeah, Zoe is absolutely phenomenal. If we can keep her next season, I think we'll be in a very good position, because she's quality.
Yeah, and I know Zoe Craney got the player of the league, I think, for the season from Solihull Moors, and I don't understand that quality player. I know Stourbridge rate her highly as well, but for me, I think Zoe could go that one step further. I think I think she would have been a massive contender for that. So
100%.
Well done to Zoe this season. Other fullbacks, so Jess Bates, Meg Hadley fighting out on that one, on the other side, kind of rotated a little bit. Meg Hadley played more league games, but Jess Bates certainly covered really well. Arguably one of Jess Bates' best seasons since she's been at the club.
Yeah.
Done really well there. What are your thoughts on the other side?
Yeah, obviously Meg is class as well. I think Meg and Zoe are a phenomenal sort of duo that we have at fullback. She's skillful on the ball, she's composed, and she's got an absolute rocket of a shot in her.
2
as
worldies
well.
this season.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, Meg's done really, really well. Obviously, fan sponsor, proud to sponsor her, of course. I'm really enjoying watching her progress as a footballer as well. And yeah, Jess, like you say, has come in when she's needed to. Covered both sides as well. She's got that sort of versatility about her, and you know what you're getting from Jess. She's a very consistent player. Great defensively, and she's added that bit more stability when we need it at times. And yeah, I think that's exactly what you want from a sort of backup defender, just to come in, shut up shop maybe, and just see it out. And I think that's what Jess offers to you.
Yeah, I think at one point, we was questioning as a fan base and as a coach. We had a good debate in the club about whether or not she's like first choice Jess Bates, because when she came on, she's done nothing wrong.
No,
it's just the fact that Meg's so good. It's sometimes hard to keep it both. What you did, there's no right or wrong answer. He said, but it's great. We need that kind of squad at this level where it doesn't matter who you put in; they can both contribute. Yeah,
definitely. I think that's what you see, like with some teams that have been down here. They can't even feel like a full bench. You know what I mean? Like, and we've got all these players. There's players that don't even get into the first team squad on a match day. We've got so many players in the reserves that could easily step up and fill into whatever gap you needed them to.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, that's what sets us apart from everyone else really in this league, because that is so important, and it's shown. When you get an injury to you know, whoever it is, Zoe or Mill Rogers or whoever it might be, you've got people that are able to just slot in, play their role, and keep us winning. You know, that's the winning formula.
I agree with that. And as the season goes on, you really did that, you really needed that bigger squad, didn't you? I mean, we showed that this season, and you know, the two signings that we'll talk about later, you know, they came just at the right time, didn't they? And we'll touch on Lexi and Lois shortly. Let's finish off with the defenders first. So, Sophie Levick, new to the squad. I thought she was going to come in as either like a Carl Aldred replacement or a full-back. Last thing I thought of, she was going to be a centre-back. But with Neve Murphy being injured most of the season, you know, she took the opportunity really well, didn't she? Thoughts on Sophie Levick playing centre-back?
Yeah, I remember the first pre-season game, City of Stoke, and Lev, I think, played, I want to say left wing back. In that, she didn't play centre back. I don't think, at least for the majority of the
probably,
game.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I don't think she had her best game either. And obviously, like you mentioned, Neve Murphy getting injured, I think it was a sort of, I don't know, a calling point to her. Obviously, she played in central defence before, like she said. So yeah, for her to slot back in there, you know, after a year at Sutton not playing that role, there might have been questions asked, and she's blown everyone out of the water. You know, she's been fantastic. I think for me, she's been player of the match contender in the majority of games that I've watched. So yeah, especially alongside who I think we're going to mention in a second, Sophie Hazelgrave. They've got an excellent partnership together, sort of the aggressor and the sweeper, I want to say, sort of that sort of combination. They're brilliant together, and I can't rate Lev enough, to be honest. Yeah,
Lev's really surprised me, like just because of the fact that like she's adapted to that role, because at the start of the season I wasn't expecting Lev to stay there, so in that centre back role. I thought she was going to be on one side of defence, Meg Hadley or Jess Bates fighting out on the other side of the defence, because I didn't think Zoe Clark was going to be playing as fullback.
Right.
I thought she would be more attacking, so I had no idea Levick was going to play there. So I thought, okay, Hazelgrave, Kieran Allen, Neve Murphy can all fight it out. I thought because of Neve Murphy playing so well towards the end of the previous season, I thought, okay, she'll get her nod.
Yeah.
And to be fair, she did. She started the season. She was starting 11 until she got injured, and you know, she played really well, and gutted for her that she's been out for most of the season. But all three of those, I believe, have been rotated really well, throwing Sophie Hazelgrave in there as well. You know, I think your fittest two people in Hazelgrave and Levick have been your main two centre backs, but then when we needed Kevin, she'd come in and again not put her foot wrong.
Exactly.
And Neve towards the end of the season where we needed her, she stepped in. But for me, it's just such a shame that Neve has been injured for so long, because we haven't seen enough of her this season, have we?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Neve's a great person as well, but like, yeah, we had a glimpse of her towards the end of the season. Obviously, she had a bit of time with the reserves as well. But yeah, hopefully we get to see Neve a bit more next season, because she's a really, really good defender, as she's shown last season. But yeah, it's obviously a massive shame for her. But yeah, I think the replacements that we've got in, obviously, like you say, Lev has had to fill in there, and Kieran as well, and Sophie Hazelgrave. They've sort of almost made it their own, that centre-back sort of trio in a way. And yeah, it's great to see, because I think that's arguably where we're at our strongest in defence, I would say, especially that sort of middle core spine, I would say. You know, we've got proper strength there, literal strength with Kieran. So yeah, it's great to see.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it's very rare that in a league game, at least, I felt worried that we're going to be conceding more than one goal. Obviously, one goal could always happen, whether it be off a set piece or a mistake or something. But Sophie Levick, Sophie Hazelgrave and Amy, you know, you talk about the spine there. Them three there, you felt so comfortable all season round. And,
definitely.
you know, Sophie Hazelgrave will be a lot of people's player of the season, won't they? You know, whether it be the managers, the fans, whoever. You know, she's played so well, and I know one special person at the club has voted for Sophie. I'm not going to say the person who it is, but you know, she has been absolutely phenomenal, and you know, she's deserved to be. I think she's the player that's played the most. I think her and maybe one other player was equal.
Maybe Amy as well.
Yeah, I think they've kind of like equaled it or something. But you know, how can you leave Sophie Hazelgrave out when she's played so well, and she's been our first choice centre back, hasn't she? So whatever Fisher's done, whatever choices he's made, it's worked.
Yeah.
And obviously she's keeping herself fit as well, and I'm sure she will do going into next season.
Definitely.
Midfielders, Lots to choose from.
Lots to choose
Lots
from.
to talk about as well.
Yeah.
Let's start about like the CDM kind of role then. So let's talk a little bit about El McGovern, Lil Beth, these kind of characters who kind of protect our defence, not just score goals but also protect. So let's talk about those two first.
Yeah, El McGovern, I think, has potential to be one of my favourite players in the squad, you know. I think what she offers to us is completely different to anyone else we have.
Yeah.
She sits in front of the defence, breaks everything up, wins every single ball, and is just, or you know, like sort of a Michael Carrick character, right?
Yeah, completely.
So yeah, for her, it's been a great season. I think sometimes she hasn't played as much as she might have wanted to. Because for me, I'd have her in every game.
Not down to ability, surely.
No, definitely not. I think it's probably just rotation and whatever else reasons might be. But yeah, for me, I think she's an absolute quality footballer. And like you mentioned as well, Lil Beth, obviously gone away from the game towards the end of the season. But when she was here, especially at the start of the season, I think someone down it was maybe Peterborough. I want to say she scored 2 goals down here. I don't know if that's right. Might be someone else.
I don't know what game it was.
Yeah, but she definitely scored 2 down here. But yeah, she was excellent. She's always, you're getting from Lil. She's that energy in the midfield, getting literally everywhere. And yeah, just being an absolute just annoyance in the defence, which you want really, don't you? You don't want people that are just gonna sort of trudge around the midfield. You want that energy, that quickness, that sharpness. You don't leave the opposition alone. It's a shame to see Lil obviously had to withdraw from the squad for personal reasons, but she's a fantastic footballer.
100 appearances as well, so not many teams. I believe it's only G and A we just got over 100 appearances, and she got there, which was great. And I agree, she had the best pre-season in my opinion in regards, I'm not saying fitness or anything, but like in her actual ability on the pitch on pre-season, she was amazing. I'm sure she had a game as where she was a captain as well, where she started, maybe Alex was out or maybe Lammy was out, and Lil Beth picked that up. And she showed every side to her possible in that central midfield, whether it be attacking based or defensive based. I don't know, she's just like a fantastic, just like I say, I call her a little Rottweiler, I do. She just runs down that ball. El McGovern absolutely bossed tier 5. She held her own in tier 4. Can't wait to see her in tier 3 just to see exactly what she's made of in tier 3. She's going to be up against some fantastic players. Obviously her playing more of a CDM kind of role. She's going to be up against some very creative attacking midfielders next season, and it's going to be tough for her. But obviously I'm sure Mike and Andy will get her ready for that. But plenty more midfielders to talk about. Let's talk about a bit about Angie, Sarah, Esme, those kind of players who have been more centre midfield based. They kind of rotated the positions. Sarah obviously going to Kiddie after Christmas time, but she certainly had her fair share of games as well. So you got 3 midfielders there in Esme, Angie and Sarah. They've all done very well, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. We'll start with Sarah, like you mentioned. I think Sarah was a really good player for us when we needed her. I don't think things have sort of worked out for her, with regards to maybe play time and things like that. Which is exactly why she's gone to Kiddie, and I think she's done really, really well from what I've heard there. So for absolutely fair play to her. But yeah, she offered something very different to us, whether that would be in midfield or even up front as a striker.
Yeah.
I know she scored a couple of goals down here.
Lee Field was a good one.
Yes.
Lee Field in the cup.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Exactly that. Yeah. I think Sarah is definitely an asset to have. I don't know whether she'll stay around. Obviously, play time might be an issue for her. But I think she's a quality footballer on her day. It's been good to have her here. Fair play to Sarah.
Yeah, and she has played deeper. I think for Kiddie, I've seen her on a couple of YouTube videos where she has played a bit deeper, like in the midfield kind of role. I was expecting it to be a bit more of a forward, but it's very hard for her to get in because obviously Deasy at the start of the season was just banging them in for fun, and Mill Rogers was out injured, so Sarah got a bit of freedom, but obviously then Mill Rogers came back from injury.
And then you're going to sign Lois Jeffries.
Well, I thoroughly get it, and if Sarah wants game time, and it's what she deserves, because she's definitely a tier 4, in my opinion, tier 4 player. If she wants game time, then I understand, why she would probably want to consider Kiddie as well. Angie started off pre-season really well. Didn't see as much of her as we wanted to, but again, it's that competition in midfield, isn't it? When she did play, ran her socks off. Really, I was really impressed with her energy. Obviously, when she trains twice a week here, plays futsal as well, you know, you can be very impressed with her energy, can't you? But what's your thoughts on Angie's season?
Yeah, I think Angie will be the first person to say the season hasn't really gone exactly how she would have wanted. You know, it's been a bit of a disappointment. But, you know, I think she's added a bit, you know. I remember Wem away, those corners on Wem away.
That's when I first thought of it, yeah.
Those are something that stick in my mind for her, because I think set pieces, she's arguably one of the best in the squad, I would say.
Wem away, pound for pound per corner, she gave the best corners at the whole squad.
Yeah, and if you had, I don't know who the squad was that night, if you had maybe a Neve Murphy, Esme Moran, bullet headers, try marks, of course, if you had them, you know, possibly get a few assists on the board as well. But yeah, no, Angie, you know, like I say, I don't think it's gone exactly how she would have wanted. But yeah, I think there's definitely a player there. You know, she's come to Stourbridge for a reason. There's a player in Angie Morley. It's just a shame that it's not really worked out so far in her Stourbridge career for her.
It's tough though, because when you have got the likes of Esme, who obviously plays really well, we'll talk about Hannah Fishwick and Alex shortly as well. Obviously Lexi joining in the second half of the season. It's so hard for Angie to get that game time, isn't it? So I do get it, and it is a shame. If you consider like a disappointment to be not starting every game, then yeah, it is. But you know, it is one of those things when you've got so many quality midfielders. We'll talk a bit about Esme. Towards the end of the previous season in Tier 5, you know, she played a little bit on that wide left-hand side. She played in the centre of midfield. This season we've seen her a bit of everywhere, hasn't she? She's been a bit defensive, she's been a bit creative, she's been a bit out wide if you play 4-4-2 narrow. But there's no denying that Esme is continuously learning, continuously doing really well. Definitely deserves a spot in Tier 3, and she's a Tier 3 player in my opinion. Fitness levels are good, attitude's good. Just a great fan favourite, isn't she?
Definitely, one of the fan favourites for sure. I think, like you mentioned with Ez, I think the versatility that we keep going on about is key. You know, like you said, we've seen her play slightly wider, seen her in the centre, both attacking and defensive, and that's really crucial. You know, having a player that can cover all those positions and do so many things with whatever formation. You know, we've tried so many formations over this season, and you know, to have players that can fit in multiple roles is surely really useful for the managers, because they know that whether, you know, we're playing a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1 or whatever it might be, like, you can slot someone in and they will still, you know, do that job.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, it's really good how this season our players have been a lot more versatile than the previous season. So it doesn't matter what formation we played, we've always had the right position. It's not a case of just putting like square pegs in round holes, so to speak. We've recruited really well, and we've had enough people that if we wanted to play a certain way or a certain formation, we've had personnel there. So it's impossible for us as fans and those guys as coaches to say this is our best 11, because there is no such thing, in my opinion, at the moment as our best 11, because it all depends on what formation we want to play, what style of play we want to play, and then that all depends on who we're playing against. You know, so I think it's worked out really well how we've rotated players this season, and I'm sure we'll have to do that again next season. Player of the season last season for fans and players of the season was Alex Nicklin.
Yes.
I think if you speak to anybody in the stadium, she's a dead cert to be a starter in any game. As long as she's fit,
100%.
You're a player. Yeah, you just said it yourself.
Yeah, I think the only thing that hampers Alex is the injuries, right?
Yeah.
She's always had that sort of issue with her, but you know, if she's fully fit on her day, one of the best players in the league by a mile. You know, the technical ability on that girl is something else. You know, the ability to ping a ball 40 yards or have a shot 30 yards from goal and it nestle into that top corner. You know, she's absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, she's, like you mentioned, an absolute dead certain starter for most people, you know, if they're picking a starting 11. Alex Nicklin has got to be on that list because, she's absolutely phenomenal.
If you need a midfielder to crop up with a goal, you're just going to say just leave Alex Nicklin on the pitch, aren't you? She's phenomenal. Scoring goals, work rate she's just unstoppable. When she walks off, I mean, she's like, you know, you can see the red cheek, she's panting, she's giving everything that she's got. And ability-wise, she's, you know, again, Tier 3 level. I'm thinking about this because they earned their right to get there. You know, they was
Yeah.
with us at tier 6. You know, Esme, when I mentioned that as well, they've worked their way up to tier 3, and they thoroughly deserve it, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic to see, and I can't wait to see how it all works out for these players next season. One of the new additions, obviously, this season, for the past 2 seasons, Hannah Fishwick, dual contracted with Birmingham City. Being released now from Birmingham, but obviously been with us for 2 years, 2 seasons. I was a little bit surprised with Hannah in a positive way. You know, I thought she was going to be more of a forward, and she's playing more of a Alice Nickling type of role, where
Yeah.
you know, when Alex isn't playing or when they've rotated, they kind of divided that role between them, more of a centre attacking midfielder. Sometimes when we played in that role, she's been like the one on the wide right to stretch out. I'm thinking about Lincoln away,
Right.
if you can remember that one off the top of your head. But like, she kind of played that position where she had to
Yes.
stretch out
Yeah,
wide
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
She certainly had a fair share of game time. And obviously got that great goal against Leeds in the cup final.
Yeah.
One of my best memories.
Wow. Yeah.
Best memories ever, I think. Not just about Stourbridge, but yeah, Hannah Fishwick's been amazing, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean that has to be moment of the season, surely.
I
It
think
has
so.
to be, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Hannah is fantastic as a footballer. Yeah, like you mentioned, she plays a lot of different positions for us. Sometimes as even a centre forward, maybe with DZ has got a couple already. Hannah
Yeah.
comes on, plays as that centre forward. But yeah, for me, like you say, I think she is at her best in the sort of Alex Nickling role, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, a sort of almost attacking midfield role. Yeah, I think technically wise, she is one of the best in the squad. I would say, you know, just with the ball at her feet, and you know, at her age as well, that is a really, really promising thing to see. So yeah, I think this season coming, I think is going to be Hannah's breakout season. I'm going to put my prediction out here right now.
Okay.
I think Hannah is going to have the best season she's ever had for us. I think she's going to absolutely blow us all out the park, and yeah, I'm absolutely all here for it.
I think it is that time of the season, time of transition really, where you look at some of our players who've been with us since tier 7, tier 6. You know, with what their career aspirations are, I don't know what their passion is away from football. It's hard to say, but with Hannah, she's still young.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone's got a career here, you know, potentially it is Hannah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, we do kind of sign her permanently, because
I hope so.
there's
I
just
hope
so much to come from her. Got a great relationship with her teammates, and Mill Rogers, another forward player. You know, we
Yeah.
know that they have a great relationship as well, and that's what you need in a team. So yeah, I thoroughly agree. I think I called Hannah Fishwick to almost have a breakout season this season. You know, I've always said this. She's the player with the X factor, and she has on and off the pitch. So yeah, I think Hannah's phenomenal. So I just can't wait to see her again next season.
Definitely.
Also, a similar type of player in regards to position on the field, Lammy. So she's playing more up front. She might have been one of two, or a centre forward who's dropped deep where someone else has gone behind. But Lammy this season surprised me to the point of, like, I didn't realise she was going to be playing as many games. I didn't realise she was going to be as influential. She was a captain, and she captained pretty much most of the games, started most of the games. She has been great,
Yeah.
you know, and proud to be a captain, because I think she is. Let's talk about a captaincy role. This season, she has been the main captain.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the most vocal players on the pitch by a mile.
Leads by example.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, she's phenomenal. She gets the club. She understands everything that we stand for here. And yeah, she's a great player as well. So yeah, for her to come back from the pregnancy, obviously last season, come straight into this captaincy role that she's had to, you know, have for this season, and really sort of own it and make it her own. You know, I think it's really, really special for her as well. But yeah, she's done absolutely phenomenally, both I would say off and on the pitch.
Yeah, completely off the field as well.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of stuff goes on, you know, unnoticed from her off the pitch that some people don't know about. But yeah, she understands the club, she gets the club, and she wants to do everything for it. And I think for me, that is exactly what a captain should be.
Yeah, and it's almost like a reward for her for all her hard work and being with us since tier 6 and making that decision to obviously leave Kieran to come to Stourbridge. She's now been one of the main drivers to get us to tier 3, and I think it's also a reward for her personally, to, you know, where we are now, you know, in tier 3, and she's been a massive part of that from the beginning. So you know we don't forget that, do we, as fans?
No.
So you know, it's great to see her and Fisher celebrating
Yeah.
Seeing the hugs with Focus Stud Photography, seeing those images. Saw it last season, saw it this season. You know, thoroughly well deserved, and she's had a fantastic season. Almost a contender for One Heart One Way award as well. You know, with what, like you say, coming back from pregnancy, fitness levels, got a full-time job, obviously a fantastic career. Obviously got a family. It's a lot of time out of her time committing to Stourbridge in the way she has, but she's done it, hasn't she? So well done to her. Let's talk a little bit about the forwards before we move on to the signings in December, January time. Start off on that right-hand side, Lindsay Glover. Started the season more of a full-back.
Yeah.
And then throughout the season, gone more forward. And then obviously more of a super sub, so when the players are getting tired, she's there, winning rings past them, scoring goals, putting in crosses, scoring one of my... You mentioned Hannah Fishwick against Leeds. Yeah, I agree. You can't say that isn't the moment of the season for me.
Yeah.
But the second moment of the season is, for me, Lindsay Glover.
Exactly.
Scoring against Leafield. It was here.
Wow.
Yeah, in the cup. Last couple of minutes, she scored the winning goal, and she said she's forced to progress in that cup. And Lindsay Glover's performance this season.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Lindsay. I think she's absolutely great. But yeah, with Lindsay, I think you know what you're getting. You're getting pace, directness. Obviously goal scoring ability. It sort of shocked me how many goals she's actually scored this season.
At one point, she was like second in our club up until about 5-6 weeks ago.
Yeah, and absolutely fair play to her. Obviously, she's coming from Calsa with the two other girls. And yeah, she's done absolutely wonderfully. Obviously, she made a name for herself, scoring that absolute banger in Aberystwyth.
Yeah.
I think that's
free kick, was it? That one.
Yeah, that's when she sort of made herself known. Like you mentioned, I almost forgot in a way that she had that time at fullback at the start of the season. It seems like an absolute age ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we quickly discovered that perhaps wasn't the position for her this season, and she moved more forward, and I think that's where we got the best out of her, sort of driving at the defences, working your way inside, getting the crosses in, getting the shots in. I think that's when we saw the best of her, sort of linking up with Neve and Mill, and getting, however many goals and assists she did. I think she's done really, really well, considering the play time she had as well.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think she interacted really well off the field as well.
Definitely.
When she first came here, and I think it was the Women's Euros as well, and she settled in really well.
Instantly got it.
Instantly.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. It's as if she's been here for years.
Literally, yeah.
One of our other signings, you mentioned the goal at Aberystwyth, Neve Deasy, league leading goal scorer. Neve Deasy, Mill Rogers up front, done really well this season. Mill Rogers had a bit of an injury between maybe October, December time, roughly. Neve Deasy obviously banged in a load of goals in that time. Just your thoughts on those two? Neve obviously brand new to the club. Mill was here obviously last season, picked up an award from the club last season as well. Two fantastic strikers, that we obviously sponsored this season.
Yep.
It's just been great to see them both, hasn't it, for a number of reasons?
Definitely, yeah. Neve is a fantastic player, fantastic person as well. We knew what we were getting from Neve, bucket loads of goals. And yeah, she's proven that she can do it in the tier below, and obviously this tier here, and hopefully, obviously, in the tier above as well. But yeah, she scored plenty of goals, all types of goals as well, with her head and with her toes, some may say. So yeah, she's done really, really well, and to get the golden boot for this league as well, it's not easy. Obviously, it's not easy. It's a massive step up. The defences in this league, they're not a joke,
Yeah. And it's not like she's played every game either.
Exactly, and she'll be the first to tell you her form in perhaps the last few months of the season hasn't been too good, and she'll be the first one to tell you that. And for her to take those sort of months and still get golden boot with quite a few goals clear is absolutely phenomenal. So massive fair play to Neve, smashed it in every single aspect, and yeah, well done.
I was lucky to be here on the final home game of the season, and I was collecting a few votes from the fans player of the season, and I didn't see too many names because I asked them to fold over and put it straight in the envelope. But I think we must have had about 100 votes, and I probably saw about 10% of those votes who was happy to tell me who they voted for or to write it in front of my eyes so I couldn't really miss it. And I think Mill Rogers definitely got quite a few votes, especially from the girls section.
Yeah.
Neve Deasy, obviously league leading goal scorer, very friendly with the fans and speaking to them on social media as well, and in the stadium. Two two big characters as well, not just goal
Definitely,
scorers.
yeah.
So well done to those two, and I'm really proud to say that we've put our names to them this season, sponsoring them. Two more players, and we've only got a couple of minutes left, 3 or 4 minutes left before the battery runs out. Our signings: Lexi Harrison, Lois Jeffries. My God, that just won us a league, didn't it? Let's be honest.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, we'll start on Lexi first. Can we call that a European signing from TNS?
Oh, I like that.
I think we should.
Good.
I think
That's
we should call it that. But yeah, Lexi's come in. I think initially, bucket loads of pace. I think everyone thought perhaps a winger, and she's proved that she can easily do it out there. She's got the trickery, got the dribbling ability to play out there. But then, sort of towards the end of the season, she's come into the midfield. Almost.
I like to see her there. I prefer her there. Yeah. Workhorse.
Playing that
Physical.
sort of almost a box to box role. She's got the stamina, got the energy to get up and down as many times as you want. And yeah, it's great to see her playing there and getting a few goals for herself as well. I remember, I think Leek Town away. It sort of almost came out of nowhere, that goal. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, Lexi's been absolutely great for this football club, and like you mentioned with Neve and Mill, I think she's a great character to have around as well. I think, especially being so young as well, one of the players that could quite easily make a career out of football, and whether that's here or not, hopefully. But she's got bucket loads of ability and loads of potential as well.
Professionalism as well.
Exactly.
I am conscious of time, so I want to move on to Lois. But for me, if I could just sum up Lexi, I think I would just say nice person and very professional, and it's just what we need for going into next season. Let's finish off with Lois Jeffries. You've got 1 minute to tell us your thoughts, Kieran, on Lois Jeffries.
Lois Jeffries, what a human she is. Oh my God, we have won that lead because of Lois Jeffries. Let's not lie here. Absolute serial winner, knows what it is to win this league, and she's come into this team, scored crucial goals at crucial times, and dragged us through that last stretch really when we needed it. Like we mentioned, Neve Deasy hasn't been on the greatest form last month or so.
She got us to a certain point, and then
exactly, and then Lois has come in and done that. She's got us over the line, and we're champions because of arguably her goals, some may say.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, thank you, Kieran. It's been a fantastic season. It doesn't stop here.
It has.
We've got to cover as much as we can over the over the summer. We've got the pre-season friendlies to talk about. Any ins and outs for player personnel that we'll talk about, and we've also got an awards to go to next week as well. So there's plenty to discuss. But Kieran, it's been an absolutely amazing season. Thank you to you for the atmosphere in the stadium
Always
as well.
A pleasure.
Absolutely, and we'll end it there. But Kieran, what a wonderful season, better than I expected, and up the Stour.
Exactly that, up the Stour.